Filmed in front of a live studio Kingston is the Vox Off Show starring Voxandra. And tonight's guest, Gilluria! God bless the wheel, because it's the Salty Sash! Featuring Winamp and the Press Play Band! I'm Chair G Tables, and here's Voxandra!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vox Off Show. I am your host, as always, Voxandra, and again, as always, here's my co-host, Chair G Tables.
Hey yo, what's up? It's me, Chair G Tables. What's up, everyone?
I hope everyone's having a great time, because I think I'm in a good mood. Chair, are you in a good mood?
Very. I'm smiling so hard.
It's a trick question. We are always in a good mood for the Vox Off Show, because we love doing this, and we love all of you. Listen up. We got a special guest tonight. Gilluria is here. That is right. Twitch.tv/Gilluria. He likes a lot of PS2 jank. Did you know that? A lot of PS2 jank. I hope everyone's ready for not that this is related to jank, because I don't think it's a jank. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about Shenmue for like an hour. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, and everyone's just gonna be like, "Why are you like this?" And we're gonna be like, "Cause we love being like this." But listen up, Gilluria is not the only person here. That's right. There's also Winamp and the Press Play Band. Everyone, can we get pogs in the chat for Winamp and the Press Play Band? Let's see a pog applause on my screen for Winamp and the Press Play Band. That is right. They are here again. They are our band. They're always here, and we love them. What a good band. Have you ever heard a band as good as Winamp and the Press Play Band? Here.
I think people praise the VLC too much, but the true homies, the classic, everyone must know how to appreciate the Winamp and the Press Play Band.
True homies, like whoever owns that car. I don't know if they're a homie. I mean, they just left the car here. It's still here. Do you realize it's still here?
I know.
You see that?
I know.
I don't. I'm not sure what we
What
should
if
do about that.
Are there secret cameras in there?
What if there's spiders in there? You know there were spiders in my car like a few months ago? I had to get rid of spiders out of my car a few months ago. It was a nightmare.
A lot? A lot?
Yeah, they were just chilling. Like, I opened up the whole, like, back trunk of my car, and there was a web and spiders in there, and I was just like, well, guess I'm burning the car down. I took care of it. My car is, as far as I'm aware, been spider-free for a while. But that was a nightmare. That was a fucking nightmare. They were not even, like, big, scary spiders. They're just like small spiders, and people normally don't care, but I'm terrified of bugs. I'm absolutely terrified. True. So, listen, everybody. I could tell you about current events. I could tell you about what was going on. But, a really important thing happened this week. So, Chair and I immediately need to go get over to our set and talk about it. Because it's very, very important. So, excuse us for a moment, everyone, while we head on over.
This is Gil, and you're watching the Vox Off Show, starring Voxandra at twitch.tv/Voxandra, the #1 source for your host, Voxandra. Let's begin.
Oh, this is new. Oh. Bouncer! 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 Hell yeah!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vox Off Show. Chair, are you a fan of the Bouncer? The Bouncer!
Let me tell you something. I never played the game, but when someone told me about the game, I just thought the name of it is the funniest thing ever.
It's so
Even though
good.
it's a bouncer.
Don't you wish you played a game as a bouncer?
Yes. I watched my friends play it though. I think it's pretty sick. I think it's pretty sick. And considering it's not really a long game, I feel like it's one of those games that once I play it, I'll really get into it.
Perhaps. I'm sure we'll have a lot to say about that with Gil later, cause right now we got some important stuff to talk about this week. So, did you do anything this week that's interesting? Get it out of the way before we talk about the big thing. Do you have anything you need to get out of the way?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
No, actually, all I have in my mind is Street Fighter Frontier.
Oh God. Stop calling it Street Fighter Remastered.
It's your fault.
This immediately. How is it my fault? The initials are SFR. How is it my fault that you call it Street Fighter Remastered?
You sent it as SF1, and you know how much I like Kusoge. So when I see SFI, the first thing I think of is Street Fighter 1.
Only thing I'm thinking of right now is SMH. But that's right, everyone. Saga Frontier Remastered finally came out this past week, and my week was consumed by two different things. One was putting out that YouTube video that talks about Saga Frontier and the different mechanics of it and why I love it. It's a video titled My Favorite Game, Saga Frontier. It's over on my YouTube channel. I very much recommend checking it out if you have not seen it already. That took a lot of time for me to do, just because Saga Frontier is so important to me. So it was really tough to like put that together and express how I feel about the game, since it's my favorite game, and sometimes it's hard to describe why a game is your favorite game, especially when it's something that a lot of people, I think, might not expect or don't hold in as high of a regard as how much is when you actually like it, and it's sometimes tough to talk about with that. But the other thing was, I've been wanting to do it for months, and I just could not settle on actually sitting down and writing a script for it, as I just thought in my head, how in the world would I talk about it? And so I finally forced myself to do it because I wanted the video to get out before the remaster came out, and that was really important to me. So I spent multiple days, just like 16-hour days of just working on the damn video, because it's hard to put a video essay together. It's not easy. It's a difficult thing to do, so. But I'm really proud of that video. But the big thing is that Saga Frontier Remastered came out. It's out, and I'm sure people are wondering how I feel about it. There's a lot of suspense. Does she like it? Does she? I love it. I love it. The answer is I love it. I love it. It's a great remaster. They used like AI upscaling for the backgrounds and everything. Try to make to get them to be HD and everything. The sprites look good, the animations look good. It's been really, really exciting to see what they did with it. A lot of the cut content, especially with like Acellus's story, is added into it, and it's fantastic. And can
you actually talk to me about what was cut from Acellus's story?
Sure. So, it's gonna be tough to say for people who haven't played it yet, but the point, without saying anything, do you know the point when Zosma joined your party?
Wait, who? Oh, the Akuma clone?
Akuma, yes, Akuma, the guy who looks like Akuma. You know when he finally joins your party?
Yeah.
All the side quest stuff you can do with him before going back to Fasanaturu was cut.
Wait, really?
All that stuff was added in. The stuff in the biolabs, the stuff in the Magic Kingdom. There was no dialogue with Frodo in the Magic Kingdom at all. You just went there and there was some dude and like he said nothing, and then you beat his ass and then left, and like That was it. There was nothing.
Wait, why did they remove it?
They didn't remove it. They just didn't have time to put it in. So it was
Oh,
unfortunately
I
cut.
see.
All the different things that kind of fleshes out like Acellus after her sorrow, going out in the world of the Zosma, and kind of seeing like the evils of both mystics and humans and the good of mystics and humans is it's really cool. It also you couldn't recruit Dr. Nusakan in Acellus' story originally. There was just nothing there with that.
Oh, wait, so like all the stuff that was in the biolab, like there was like literally nothing there in the original?
For no one. The only thing in the biolabs was you could go rescue Cotton, and Cotton joins your party, and that's it. It was just a bunch of tough enemies.
What?
With the giant earth dragon dude, whatever, just chilling in the bottom. And that was it. The biolabs was just this difficult place. Yeah.
Wait, so that Earth Dragon was just like a boss there with no context?
No context. He was just there. He was located at the very, very bottom, guarding the dragon shield. And you would just talk to someone, and you would just fight him. And that would be it.
Wait, is the dragon shield the one like behind the scientist? Like the
yeah,
chest?
all the way in the bottom.
Wait, how do I get it? Like I can't, like the scientist there would
Oh,
not let me pass.
he's gone after you do the quest.
Oh, okay.
It used to be a scientist who just stands there, and then you talk to them, and they just like talk about their greatest creation or something, and then you fight it. And that's it.
Oh, okay. No, because after I beat that boss, I just split from the place.
Oh, yeah. If you go down there, you can get the treasure then. Yeah. See, I need to check that because I remembered that shield was there. But yeah, all that stuff was cut, and Fuse's story just wasn't in the game. They had to cut him completely as a character, and he ties up a lot of the endings and everything. Blue gets even more of an ending with Fuse, which is really exciting. I know you might not know what that means yet, Chair, but you will.
I don't know yet.
You will, and you'll love it, and it's exciting. It's great. I'm really happy with the remaster. What were we gonna ask?
No, you can talk about that. I was just gonna ask you, like, what chapter should I select next before I make another bad choice and get confused again.
All right, I will give my opinion on starting characters in a second. I just want to get off my chest that the only issue I have is with the English version. So, in the original Japanese version, they had names for the combos. And in the original English version, the combos didn't have names. It was just like 2 combination, level 3 combination, level 4. But the way it works is like, say you have 2 skills, like Bound Shot and like Titus Wave or whatever, Titus Wave. If they comboed together, it would say the combo name would flash, and it would be like Bound Wave or Titus Shot based on the order. Like it takes the first name from every skill and then does the last name of the skill of the last skill in the combo. And it was really cool. It leads to a lot of funny names and stuff, and it's interesting when they do their combination. And you could have silly things like bound, impale, and like funny things like that. They gave us combo names, but they didn't do it right. They just slapped the names together. So it's just like, it just names all the moves in the combo. It doesn't do the actual combo names. And it's really sad because they did it in Romancing Saga Reuniverse, the mobile game that has all the Saga Frontier combos. And like they use that system, and it's in a modern game that does it. And they don't do that in the English version of the remaster. And a lot of the skill names are renamed very oddly and poorly. They changed things like Bear Crush is now Ursine Assault. Like, it sounds like stuff that either was put through Google Translate or through someone who, like, didn't know English very well and just looked things up and, like, Bear Ursine, here you go. Like, it's really weird, and, like, they use a lot of old names from old games that aren't used anymore. So now, like, not only are names different from the original game, but they're not really improved. They're just made a different form of nonsensical. And they're now like the same characters who have moves in the modern Saga games that come from Saga Frontier have the right names, but now their original game, their remaster, has the wrong names in it. And on top of that, they didn't go back and fix the janky dialogue. They just left the janky dialogue. Like, there's very few things where, like, there was one scene where someone is supposed to say "thar she blows," but in the original, they said what was it? It was like "there she blows," and so like janky things like that were fixed to "thar she blows" and different phrases like that. But a lot of the stiff dialogue that sounds like two people who aren't actually talking to each other, they're talking like past each other. They're just like this was an opportunity to fix the translation and they didn't, and it really bums me out that it's such a it's just a very budget and not good localization job, and that's the big bummer with the remaster. Unfortunately, everything about the game itself and the remaster itself is exactly as I hoped for and what I wanted, and I love it. I'm really, really, really happy with it. I'm just bummed that they Square got lazy with the localization, and now this is what we have. And that's the really unfortunate part. So it kind of bumps me. I don't know how to complain about that, to have anything actually happen without sounding like those Twitter chuds who complain about localization because they don't understand anything. You know what I mean? Who complain about like anything that happens and whatnot, and it's like, so it's hard to talk about, but I still love the game. Still absolutely love it. Recommend it to everyone.
I'm at least glad they did the remaster. Like, it gave me a reason to finally open up the game.
Yeah, I mean, they also did things like add a story tab that kind of gives you an idea of where the story is going and what to do. So there's no excuse for getting lost anymore. That's right, everyone. If you got lost in Saga Frontier, you have no excuse anymore. The game has the option to tell you where to go to help you out. So, no excuses.
I still get lost in Acella's story.
Well, you know, that's Acella's story. But to talk about what you said before, for recommending first characters, for anyone who wants to play it, I recommend starting with Red or Amelia, or maybe even Blue. So, I think Red, Amelia, and Blue are really good starting characters. Red is a common writer. JRPG common writer. He's awesome. I love him. Amelia's story is good. Blue's is good. Just Acella's is my favorite. I recommend playing her second. I don't recommend her as your first character. I recommend her as your second character, and she's my favorite.
I opened the game and it literally it showed in my screen, oh, girl living new life, but everyone hates her. What should she do? I'm like, oh wow.
Well, yeah, she's great.
I like her.
She's the best. I love her. She's just, her story's tough to do first. The only thing, you can still play her first. It's just the only thing I would like hard no, do not play first is Riki's story. Anyone who watched me last night knows that playing with monsters in Saga can go horribly wrong.
Wait, what's in Riki?
Riki has some really tough stuff in it, and if you don't understand how monsters work, they're a nightmare, because you have to absorb moves from other monsters, and that determines what you transform into, and you can easily keep transforming into weak monsters, and then just feeling very confused. Like, you can't grind to make a monster better, more or less. To put it simply, like, you can, but to put it simply. But my recommendation is Blue's story, Red's story, or Amelia's story first for new time players. But yeah, that's mostly what we've been doing. I mean, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the remaster. It's fun.
Wait, okay, so when I watched your video, there's one part of the video where it's just red text kill. Is it Rogue or Rouge?
Rouge. Kill Rouge.
Kill Rouge.
Yeah, that's Blue's story. He has to kill his twin-blooded brother, Rouge.
So I can't have them in the same party for other stories?
No, you can't. You actually can't recruit Blue in anyone's story.
Wait, why? Isn't he like a hero or something?
Blue's a dick. But you can recruit Rouge in everyone's story except Riki and T260s.
Oh.
And that's because monsters and mechs can't learn magic, so Rouge
Wait,
is like,
so
why would
we're-
I go with you? I'm trying to find magic.
So we're literally playing a dick and we're killing like the cool guy.
Yeah. Or will you? Or like can you do it? What will happen? What will happen? Can you do it?
I don't know who should I pick next. I want to pick
What?
Red.
What
It's
happens
cool.
if you fail? I very much recommend playing Red. Red is awesome. Alkaiser is awesome.
I just want to hear the music already.
Yeah. Fight Alkaiser is an amazing theme, and his final boss music is phenomenal. It's so good. It's so freaking good. But you're enjoying it? You're having fun?
Yes, I'm having so much fun.
I'm glad.
I have friends that never saw this game before, and they're getting hooked to it because they're like, the music, it's so good, and all they're doing right now is just spamming the music.
So tell me, do you now understand, like, that one night I held you hostage and, like, we just listened to Saga music all night? Because I had to show you how good it was. You understand now? You're getting why I love this game so much now?
Yeah. Wasn't this like when we were literally just getting to know each other?
I think so. I think we bonded over
held
JRPG music.
I think you held me hostage until 3 a.m. You just talking about Saga.
We joke. We were just up late. I just kept linking songs to you, and you're just like, "Well, I can't sleep. I gotta keep listening to this."
Cause it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's gonna nerd out for quite a while. And then I opened the link. I was like, this is so good. I need more.
Oh man. So tell everyone what you told me about your experience with a boss fight recently.
Oh my
when you
God.
told me this game was amazing, like when you were just like, yeah, this game's great.
No, oh my gosh, I felt like it was like one of those anime episodes. Like I was doing so good. I was doing so much damage. Okay, so it was the Earth Dragon fight. It was the Earth Dragon fight,
Mhm.
and I was like, oh, I'm doing so well. I'm in such a good motion, and then the ball beating or whatever.
The
happened.
ball bearing.
I can't escape it. It's like unlimited turns. Like how many times does he do it? Like 7?
Yeah, he can fire it multiple times, and he can have both his attacks on one turn just be that attack. So it's just him doing that a bunch of times. It's like 2 sets of them.
Dude, like he wouldn't. Okay, so like when that started happening, I'm like, okay, I need someone to be alive because if I only have 2 characters left, there's a chance that both of them might die. So I got stuck. I got stuck on this heal loop. I got stuck on this heal loop for like forever, and this healing loop of like reviving characters, like it happened all the way until all of my characters' MP went to 0.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And like when it went to 0, like I was so shocked. I was like, I can't believe I finally escaped it. All my characters are alive. But then I'm like I need to end this now. I need to end this now, or because I cannot heal anymore. And then all I did was I just busted out everyone's best moves, and then it was the first time I've ever gotten to see a 5-party combo in the whole duration of my playthrough.
Awesome.
It looked so cool. It looked so cool. The name was so long. It was like, it was like at the end of the screen because Tiger Rampage. Like, and then oh my gosh, is this the comeback? And then like 10k plus damage, and it ended the boss. It was the
Amazing.
perfect to end the reviving loop. It's
See-
like what? It's like, you know, it's like Dragon Ball. Like, you know, it's like Gohan and Krillin's like, where's Goku? We can't hold on for much longer. And then like Goku came, aka the time I revived everyone. It's like full power to win. Oh, it's so good.
See, that's why I keep telling everyone the boss fights of Saga are so good because you're just so on edge for them and they're amazing. So it's everything can be so like such a nail biter and it makes it really exciting. I love it. It's great. It's the best.
It's such a good game. You know the LP system, like, you know, like
Yeah.
when I see some characters, they have like a lot of LP. I'm like, dude, like they'll never die. And later on in this game, I'm now like getting scared of like all of it running out.
Oh well, you know you can just rest in inns and it restores all the LP even if it runs out to 0, right?
I know,
Okay,
but like
okay.
you know, like boss fights, like they actually reduce my LP.
That's true. That's true.
I get so scared, and I okay, so like for quite a while, you know, I'm working on RPG game or Hazuki Dies, and I'm like, dude, like this is just like Live Alive, and you know, you could just revive anyone anytime you want, right?
Right.
And I've been worried about that. I'm like, how do I balance that? Because like, okay, so there's this fan game called Toho Alive, which is Live Alive, but with Toho characters, and it's actually a much longer game, and there's a lot more extra content and a lot of like secret bosses. It's actually a much harder game too, and there's this one boss that there's this super boss that you can actually access early in the game, and one of my friends was able to exploit it by having one character only be targeted by that super boss, and then keep reviving it every turn, and then the other character keep up it.
Yeah.
And like level 1 like win. It was
That's
ridiculous.
Funny.
That's what I was worried about. But dude, I think I want to implement LP now.
See, the LP system's so good. It's such a good system. It makes for really good fights and everything. Yeah, but for those of you who don't know, the way the life point system works is, in Saga Frontier, you start battles with full life, but you have LP, usually like between 6 and 10 or something. It varies. Anytime you get knocked out, you lose 1 LP and are knocked unconscious. If you can still get attacked when you're knocked out, and every time you're hit, then you'll lose another LP. And if you run out completely, then you're dead. You're out of the fight. And then if you get healed though, that you just revive people just by healing them. But the result is that you have a lot of enemies who can do a ton of damage and just knock you out immediately. But it's balanced by the LP system and just always being able to revive people. And it's really good. It leads to really, really good fights, and it's a really, really fun system. That's different than what you might like normally be used to and everything. But I really love it. So I'm really glad you've been loving the remaster. It's exciting seeing so many people. There's been a lot of people who told me they got this game because of me, and they're really enjoying it. And like, I'm glad that people are enjoying the game I recommended. Because like, I know I gush about the things I like, and it can be scary. If like, what if people don't like the thing I'm suggesting? Then they're all like, "Oh, you're dumb. Why'd you tell me this?" But I'm glad people like it. So.
I almost did not like it. I just had to get past the 1 hour point because I chose SLS.
Yeah, it's tough, but yeah, it's good. So you know what else I like? Here, you know what else I like?
Aww.
I like the content from twitch.tv/Gilluria. Did you know that?
Yes.
So much so that I've invited Gilluria to be on the show. And they are our guests for tonight, which you already know because we already planned this. You already know all this. We already said that at the start of the stream. Don't worry about it. But the point is, Gilluria is here, who loves Metal Gear Solid, loves Shenmue, loves PS2 jank. Got the jank. Let's go ahead and have a little introduction to Gilluria right now. Let's take a look.
Wait, what if we shoot that? He's not responding to anything anymore. That is interesting. Is he stuck in... He is trying to resolve something, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a pug pause in the chat? Gamers and gentlemen, I should say. Gamers and gentlemen, can we have a pug applause in the chat for our special guest, Gilluria? Gilluria, welcome to the Vox Off Show. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. How are you guys? I really appreciate the amount of cardboard boxes here.
We have the best cardboard boxes here, nice and clean, despite the dirty warehouse. That is why they call me Boxandra, apparently.
Well, it's a nickname well earned by the looks of it.
Thank you, thank you. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing
It's
pretty-
the hour is hitting different, but
Yeah, you're from
I'm
you're
doing
from
pretty
the
good.
Europe, aren't you?
Yeah,
the Europe, as they call it.
I'm from the Florida of Europe, the Netherlands, and it's about 3 a.m. here.
Is the Netherlands really the Florida of Europe?
No, I just started calling it that.
Oh, cause that's some strong language to call a place the Florida of something. Cause let me tell you about Florida. Well, you already know about Florida, quite honestly. Thanks to
I did.
thanks to our friend Dan Video Games.
Yeah, Dan has been enlightening me with some horror stories.
But I appreciate you joining us so early in the morning, since you
Yeah, no problem.
apparently you keep normal hours.
Yeah, it's I keep things in the daylight where the games don't venture, so I'm curious to see what real gamer hours are like.
So when did you get into streaming?
That's well, we recently had our 7th anniversary, so that would be 2014.
Congratulations.
We're the same year.
Really?
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh. Yes.
Nice.
That's
That means
really
we
cool.
are destined friends. Wasn't that also the same year that Justin TV shut down?
Yeah, it's pretty much
Huh.
right after the transition. I started like dabbling a little bit with streaming, but I didn't like seriously put something together until around like April 14th, which was the anniversary that we celebrated this week.
Oh,
I think this week.
You know, that reminds me. I think that's around the time when I first created my Twitch account, because I remember looking to make a Justin TV account or something. Like, I was going to make a Twitch account and it had me do that. And so I made the account Voxandra, and it didn't work. I couldn't use it on Twitch. Like, something was jank that I couldn't use the Justin TV name on Twitch or something was really messed up with it. So I had to make a whole new Twitch account. And so for a while when I streamed Beatmania on and off, the Twitch account name was actually Voxandra Off. That was the name of the account. And then when Justin TV finally shut down completely, I was allowed to snag up back my name Voxandra and rename Voxandra Off to it. And that's how my account is actually its proper name of Voxandra now.
is it why this is called the Vox Off Show?
I was just about to ask.
See, there's some lore here. You didn't even realize we got some lore. We have the deepest lore here. The cleanest boxes, the deepest of lore. Here at twitch.tv/Voxandra, home of the Vox Off Show, starring Voxandra and special guest Gilluria, co-host Chair G Tables. 8 p.m. Sunday Eastern.
Or 2 a.m. if you're from this side of Europe.
We're
So-
sorry.
So
It's fine.
we're just flattered. We're flattered that you're able to make this. What got you into streaming? What inspired you? What got you into it?
I was working in the game store at the time, and a colleague of mine was showing me like this dude playing Dark Souls, and I was like, I can do that as well. That seems like a lot of fun. And so I started playing Dark Souls, and then I was like, yeah, the Dark Souls was fun, but now I need something more. And I started looking at my game collection. I was like, how do I put that on the stream? And then I started getting really hooked on the technology behind capturing games and the audio technical side of streaming, and that sort of became what it is today.
Nice. And I've noticed that it seems like you gravitate towards I want to say the PS2 era. Is that that's mostly where what you do comes from? Is did you grow up with the PS2 and you're fond of that era, or what is it about that system specifically that just like calls to you?
Well, I grew up primarily on hand-me-downs from family. So I grew up with like the ZX Spectrum and the NES and the likes. What really draws me towards PlayStation 1 and 2 era is kind of like that. It is that first moment where we got to see gaming become like a creative vision as well. So seeing a lot of these really unique looking games and these really unique gameplay mechanics start to flourish and start to grow and develop over the years on that platform is what really draws me in. Like, you can just pick up a PS2 game and it has that PS2 aesthetic where it's just like it has this idea, but it's limited by the console that it's on, so therefore it sort of tries to make do with what it does. And that's just something that I find very interesting. It's and some of my favorite games are on there.
Some of your favorite games? Some of your favorite janky games?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Bouncer is one of them.
I'm sorry.
Sure.
Did you say the Bouncer?
The Bouncer.
The Bouncer.
Bouncer.
But no, there is a lot of stuff that I really like on the PS2, and it's a very long and extensive list.
I like how one of your emotes from your chat is the bee from the Bouncer, and I like how after we said that there was just one little bee from the audience floating on the bottom of the screen.
I am just so happy to see that emote spreading around. It's so good. It started off as a joke between me and a friend of mine, and that we were doing a Bouncer playthrough on stream together, and he said, "You should get the Bouncer emote as a stream as a stream emote." And I was like, "You know what? Let's do it."
It's a powerful one. It's really good.
It's really good.
It's really funny when I'll see like on Dino's stream, Dino Pulls' stream, and you'll raid him and you'll just see a sea of bees show up, and Dino has a command, a voice command where you can spend channel points to make the sound of the guy going, "The Bouncer." So what'll happen is Gil will raid, you will see a sea of bee emotes just in there, and then everyone in Dino's chat starts spamming the Bouncer noise. So chat is just flooded with bees as you just hear on the stream, the bounce, the bounce, the bounce, the bounce, bounce, the bounce, the bounce. It's a great time. It's a great
Dino,
time.
if you're ever watching this, I'm sorry, but I just love it too much to stop.
It's so good. Speaking of the Bouncer, I believe we have a clip here from your channel. Let's pull this up here and you can tell us about it.
Oh God.
I believe this is from when you had Thor High Heels on the channel with you, I believe, who is dealing with you cackling right now.
Yeah, I was actually on the floor laughing at this point, just howling. We figured out that there was a mechanic in the game called the Trinity Attack. Basically, whenever somebody on the field just does like a "come on" or "let's do this," you can press a button and you do like a special attack. And Ko's the dude with the hair. His attack is that he does sort of like a neck breaker thing, And we were wondering, like, can you do that on the dog? And I thought I hit the soldier next to the dog. That's why I'm laughing so much. We were
Suddenly they
really
just-
wondering.
Oh
Suddenly
my
you're just suplexing a dog.
You know, the bouncer definitely lets you do these ridiculous, like, wrestling moves to a freaking
so good.
dog, rabid dog that's attacking you. And, like, I can never handle it when I see it. Because it's, like, it's both hilarious and horrifying. Because, like, these moves you see just done to random people, like, it's almost like that seems normal. That's an attack you would do to a person who's an enemy combatant. But then you see it on a dog, and it's a mix of, oh, but it's a dog, at the same time of, this looks absolutely ridiculous.
At the
This
same
is
time, Thor is in the
insane.
background. Bouncer, bouncer.
Chanting the bouncer. Like, I just can never handle it. And it's always a weird juxtaposition, too, because it's like, wait, you're okay with someone who's trying to, like, doing a suplex on someone who's trying to murder you, but you're not okay with doing a suplex to a dog that's trying to murder you. And it's just, I think there's just something visually about it that is, like, horrifyingly hilarious.
So a little bit on that. There is a deep lore aspect to that as well, and that the dogs are actually part robot,
Oh, that's right.
so you don't have to feel as bad.
Okay, there we go. Robot overlords, hearing this later, we're just kidding. It is a human joke. There is humor. You don't need context. Don't worry about it. So, I've thought about playing the bouncer after dealing with Dan going on about it and you going on about it, but I am told that I should not play it unless I am playing an actual a PS2 system with an actual PS2 controller due to the pressure-sensitive buttons.
Yeah, the game has some pressure-sensitive combos to it that you'll definitely need some form of either pressure emulation, or I don't know if that is a thing, or actual hardware. Like, if you want to get the most out of it, you'll need to play it on actual hardware.
Wait, there's pressure sensing technology on the PS2 controller?
PS2
Yeah.
and PS3.
Yeah, there
What?
apparently is. Yeah. I think, like,
Metal
not a lot
Metal
took
Gear
advantage
uses
of it,
it
right?
as well. Metal Gear
Metal Gear
uses it
does,
to
okay.
a big extent, especially in 3, with a lot of the CQC being tied to how hard you put in the buttons.
Wait.
Huh.
Does that exist in 2? Because I never played in 3.
Yeah, I think so. It determines how you pull the trigger. Like, you can hold the button, but if you press it hard enough and then let go, you actually shoot.
Oh, I thought I was just holding the button or something.
And I think there are a couple more mechanics, but I don't really know from the top of my head. Like, I know that the CQC system in Metal Gear Solid 3 makes a lot of use of it, but anything beyond that, I'm not quite sure.
Well, you know, I certainly have quite a few questions about the Metal Gear Solid series that I hear you love, and there's some things I would like to know about it, which sounds very interesting. However, first, before we get to that, we do need to attend to certain important matters here on the Vox Off Show. Those matters being the salty session. Gil,
I
would
thought
you...
you'd never ask.
Gil, would you be so kind as to commentate our salty session? Would you be interested in this? tonight?
Well, I heard there was a certain wheel that needs to be blessed, and I'm all about that, so let's go.
That sounds great. All right, then. Well, let's head on over then to the wheel of the salty session. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the salty session. Here is the wheel of it, where we determine what Chair and I must play going head to head this week. So far, I believe the salty session score is 2-1. Is this correct, Chair? Are we at 2 games to 1?
Yes! Oh my gosh.
Thanks to the massive upset in Melty Blood.
But the thing is... Wait, what the heck? They
No,
chose
no,
Endless Duel again?
Now, as you all know, or maybe you don't, the patrons over at patreon.com/Voxandra, that is right. The highest tier of Patreon, the executive gamers, get to choose what goes up in the wheel after a game is completed, and they chose Gundam Wing Endless Duel again. They chose it again. They really want to see Gundam Wing Endless Duel. They really, really want to see it. So it is on the wheel a third time.
I really want to practice this game, but the coworker that I'm with, that I seduce to practice fighting games with, he won't play this with me. He said it's too slow.
Whatever. Get out of here. Chair, will you tell the audience what all the games on the wheel are?
Oh, yeah. All right, so of course you guys, you have 3 Gundam Wings. Yeah, it's what you guys want. It's what the executive gamers want.
3 Wing Gundam.
It's Gundam Wing Endless Duel. But yeah, but then sandwiched in between that is Sailor Moon S, the other SNES fighter. And of course, the best MS Paint fighter, Ultra Fight the Hyanta 2, next to the PS2 fighting game, Capcom vs SNK 2, shout out to Gilluria. And then of course, our last option here is the game that you are truly a master of.
So I hear.
It is.
So I hear.
Pop Puzzle Fighter 2. And that's all for our games this week.
That sounds good. Well, everyone, it's time for us to figure out what the wheel is going to choose this week. So we are gonna spin it. And as always, say it with me, everyone. God bless the wheel. God bless the wheel.
Watch is gonna pick Sailor Moon and sandwich between all the Gundam Wings.
That would be pretty good. That would be pretty good.
It's gonna happen. Commentators curse.
Commentators curse. What do you think it's gonna be, Gil?
I'm kind of hoping for Gundam, to be honest. Big fan of the Gundam games, no matter how janky.
Oh, slowing down. It's slowing down. Gundam Wing Endless Duel has finally been chosen. The patrons finally got it to happen. Oh my goodness.
It was going to Sailor Moon S, but this deceleration was too strong. It was too strong.
All right, everyone.
Gosh.
We are going to go set up our game. But while we do that, a little commercial break.
Hey you, over here. Hey there, it's me, Tito. You ever heard of this cool game called Super Lead Chop Double Laser? The game where you can do all sorts of cool things, like this awesome ability where you can absorb enemy bullets. And then you can use the bullets you absorb as your own. In addition to that, you can shoot to the beat of the song. Your attacks will be much stronger. Destruction!
Oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do that.
What do you mean? Have you been listening to everything your super cool uncle taught you?
I thought I can just reflect bullets?
No, you cheesehead! There's a lot of things you can do with that shine. You can absorb, reflect, cancel your OP special move while maintaining your momentum.
So I can wave shine?
Yeah, just like wave shining. So prepare your wallets, because for the cost of $1 fast food burger, all of this intense action could be yours. Only here at Super Lead Chop Double Laser.
Hello and welcome the salty session, which I think might be a little loud right now, actually. Hold on a second. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you, game? There it is. All right, there's the game. I think it's a little loud. Let me fix this.
Oh, I have this. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, I love this game. I've been waiting for it to get selected here. All right, let me turn that down.
Oh man, I'm excited for invitations to be ripped in half.
I'm not ready for the infinite.
You're not ready? Let's go. This is gonna be 3 out of 5, I believe. Those of you unfamiliar, this is Gundam Wing Endless Duel on the Super Nintendo. My favorite fighting game on the Super Nintendo. Honestly, I just love this fighting game. It's really good.
I like the music.
It's very good. All right, time for versus. Let's start here. We're in.
Alright.
All right, we're in. All right,
Oh,
you know
man,
who
we
I'm
get
picking. You know
get
who
all
I'm
the-
picking.
Wait,
I will
Fox.
never not pick Lieutenant Sex.
Let's go.
Fox, did you just seriously pick Death Sight?
Hell yeah, I picked that side.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's go, let's go. You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm going for.
Oh man. I haven't seen this game in ages. It's fantastic. Going. That's like.
Let's go, let's go.
Oh, let's go. Wait, is that an infinite?
Yes, it's an infinite.
Let's go, let's go. Let's go, Chair. Let's go, Chair. I've been waiting weeks to do this to you.
Oh my god. Oh man. Well, the series is certainly living up to its name, putting the W in wing. So it's now just a matter of waiting for the opening to get the infinite in.
No.
Oh, there's the grab.
SMH, the grab.
Very consistent low blocks trying to keep that infinite out.
I am so dumb. That is. The end lag on that is so bad.
I believe that's first game going to me.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
First game to me.
That infinite just looks straight up dirty.
It's super dirty.
It looks so dirty.
You wanna know the best part of this? Death
It
Set's
starts-
considered mid-tier. Despite this. Yeah,
How is that side considered mid-tier?
because he's got to get in to do it.
He's like the most top-tier Gundam designed
Gotcha.
in wing.
Are you joshing me?
Oh
And
no!
it's over.
Oh, I messed up.
Straight back into the no. Ooh. Now, Jerry, you gotta pull these tables on Vox. Turn the tables.
No.
Getting yeeted.
That range is so deceptive. It's so much shorter than it needs to be.
But wait, does that mean that every character in this game has an infinite, or is it just that side?
No, I think there may. I think Epion does, but Epion's just too broken. Because the super is like insane.
Wait, this game has supers as well? What a deep game.
Yeah, like this. Whoop, that's not that's an EX move. It has
It
EX moves
goes
and
around
supers.
you?
Yeah, I'm spinning.
Oh. Man, what an incredible game. The sprite work on this is absolutely gorgeous to look at, though. Oh.
Oh, took a round, took a round.
Share taking it out.
Uh-oh.
Street Fighter 2! This is Street Fighter 2 Turbo Logic!
Bringing it down with the footsies. Oh.
I'm caught!
Almost got the infinite again. Oh, there it
Oh,
is
the
again.
back.
There it is again.
I'm so done. Dude, the OTGs.
Shit.
What an incredible game! I can't believe that they just gave Death Side
Gotcha.
Infinite just like that.
It's so huge.
Gotcha! Gotcha!
Oh,
That
shit.
Gotcha.
was so unsafe on block.
That's
That
two.
was so unsafe on block.
That's two for me.
No, I believe in Lieutenant Sex.
Sex monkeys. I wish we could change the stage though, but oh well.
Oh, I like this stage. I like the stage.
It is good.
This is one of.
It is very
one of this-
intense.
It's one of the stage, the backgrounds I use for you played Final Place 1.9 during the Lame Dimension stream. For the longest time, I didn't know it was this game that I used the graphics from. Back then, when all we did was just meme games.
I'm just waiting for the
Crap, crap.
almost. Oh, there it is. Nope. Vox is just baiting for the Infinite at this point.
Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Held at gunpoint there. Beautiful. For a game called Endless Duel, it sure can be over pretty fast once that Infinite gets in.
Why does that not reach? No!
That's frame trap you?
Vox, that is just dirty. I don't think you can broadcast this level of onslaught.
I wanted to hit that super so badly. I shouldn't have done that, but let's go. Let's go.
It's like every time that low jab hits, it's just over. That Infinite gets started, and it's just over. Wait, does it even start from the low jab?
Yeah, low jab.
Oh my god. That is incredible.
Oh wow, what was that?
Wow.
Oh my goodness!
What?
Chair takes the game. Chair takes the game. Here comes the comeback.
Oh wow, the tables have turned.
Oh,
Look at him.
I was so scared. No, me immediately getting up and grabbing you.
That was
that's
crazy.
That's a super turbo Balrog instincts.
Nice.
It's like my favorite Gundam from the Wing series is Death Side, and I feel a little dirty for playing favorites here because of that Infinite.
I can't believe I dropped that.
So wait, so is the targeting, is that just for the shooting mechanic? Oh my god, Vox.
No! Oh my gosh! And
Okay.
that OTG.
Okay, there we go.
So what are the targeting things that appear on screen?
For,
what do they do?
For this.
Oh, it is for the guns. Oh, that is really good. I should actually play this game. I have it laying around somewhere, but should actually try this. Looks a lot of fun. Really broken.
Oh gosh.
Fox actively fishing for the low jab there. Oh, what? Air grabs as well? In a Super Famicom game? This is next level.
Gotcha.
Oh, that kill!
That's crazy damage. There it is.
I
There
can't
it
believe it.
That
Grabs
damage
does
is
so much.
insane.
Big fucking counter throw. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna say something
What are you gonna
that
say?
beginners always say.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I won at least one round. boss, that's better than the first time we fought, I'd say.
Maybe. Here's, if I really want to be dirty, I could just be like, yeah, that's right, just beat you 3-1 with the mid-tier character. What's up?
That's amazing.
That'd be terrible. If you're wondering, Shenlong's actually considered the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Here, let me show you. I don't actually know why. Let me show you. I think it has to do with his range and pokes and everything and how safe they are and all that. Like,
Oh, that move looks pretty top tier. You just stand in place and spin your weapon.
Why? This is not reach!
Your foot is literally in the kneecap. How is this possible? That is incredible. Well, man, for a Super Famicom fighting game, this actually has quite a lot of mechanics to it. I'm really surprised. I was really ready for something super janky, but this is actually mechanically solid.
it is.
Well,
It's super
to
good.
an extent.
It feels real nice.
Like I'm kind of with PAL territories, you're kind of used to like the slowdown being absolutely dreadful on the Super Nintendo, and just looking at
That's
how
right.
smooth this runs, it's almost as good as Zero Guy's menu sound. Almost.
His moves are so fast.
Wait, is it maybe the shield dash that does it?
Yeah, is that shield dash there? But you can get hit by low storing it.
Grabs do so much damage.
They do,
How did that
yeah.
not hit? How did that not hit?
Oh, geez.
How did that not hit? That's a bitch.
Well, that downward jab with the two swords on Talgis looks pretty powerful.
Oh, damn it. Oh, stabbed me. Got it. Stabbed me. Okay.
He just kind of ascends into attack helicopter, doesn't he? when he
Yeah, I
does that
know.
attack?
I can't play him in top tier, but he's considered the top tier character. But Death Side's the one I know really well.
That side's so scary. All you just need is one touch.
One touch, we're in there. But you can see how like the lag on his moves is big. Like you were able to punish a lot of normals and stuff. And
Yeah.
but GG's chair, GG's.
What a good game.
Man, 3-1.
like-
That's almost like the score of the Salty Session itself right now. Yeah.
Guys, can you vote on a can I play?
There's so many games Chair can just kick my ass in fighting games. And we just got really lucky that I had the upset on the Melty Blood upset. That's the biggest upset of the Vox Off Show is the Melty Blood thing. But excuse us a second, everyone, and we will head on over with more interview with Gilluria.
What up, gamers? I'm Chair G Tables, lead developer of Lame Dimension and twitch.tv/Chair G Tables, and you're watching the Vox Off Show, which I'm also from. Oh shit, you're dead! I have an idea. No! Yes! World record! No!
And we are back. Hello again, everyone. How y'all doing? That was a fun salty session, I think.
I'm glad I got to witness that Death Side. I feel really dirty for rooting for Death Side in that.
I love that my favorite character from Gundam Wing has a dirty infinite.
It's sort of like favoritism backfiring.
Right? And yeah, his dash is invulnerable because it's like in the show when he's cloaked. We can't find him. Where is he? That's how they incorporated his dash.
It's going forward. It's like the opposite of Guilty Gear backdashing or like any fighting game backdashing, except you move forward and you can't get hit. It scares me.
It's pretty good, but like pretty much the only real like fancy thing I did was when I did jabs and then waited to do jab crouching weapon as a frame trap. I was like, I wonder if this is a frame trap, and then it got you, and I got so excited because I'm usually not very good at timing frame traps properly. I love that game. It's such a good fighting game. Like for the Super Nintendo era, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it blew my mind that I just witnessed the Super Famicom air grab mechanic.
Yeah, right.
Like, what? You mean to say Guilty Gear didn't start this shit?
Yeah, it's got the air dashes. It has the charge forward block that you can do, except you're vulnerable to lows during it, as well as throws, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I believe we left off before talking about Metal Gear Solid.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now, I want to ask you, do you personally enjoy Metal Gear Solid because you dislike games with politics in them?
Do I enjoy it? On multiple occasions do you get to screw over the president? Like one of them is in a sword fight. No, I don't know. Like, I just kind of enjoy the over the topness of it and just the amount of shit posting that Kojima does on U.S. politics.
Right. Have you seen some of the discourse that happens online involving that game?
Unfortunately, I have been part of the part of the whole debacle.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But I never really got into Metal Gear Solid, and it feels like a shame because I enjoy it thematically. I enjoy the over the topness, the bombastics of it. How ridiculous it is, Kojima's shitposting, as you put it. But I'm not big on stealth games. The only time I played a stealth game where I had really fun engaging with it was Deus Ex Human Revolution. And so, if I enjoyed that, would I enjoy any of the Metal Gear Solid games, like actually playing them?
Probably. Like, I mean, you do know that they have rocket launchers in Metal Gear Solid, right?
Silent takedown with the Gep gun?
Yes. Like,
hold on a second. Hold on a second. You're telling me I can do to Metal Gear Solid what I did to Deus Ex?
Pretty much.
I might have to reconsider how many of my viewers have been wanting me to play that series. I don't know.
If you do, I'm gonna be watching that. That's gonna be great. I've been trying to get the Giga Boys into it as well, just to kind of see how they fare in Metal Gear Solid, especially Metal Gear Solid 2, which is my favorite in the series.
I was just gonna ask, 2 is your favorite?
Yeah, it's Go ahead.
I was gonna say, would you say there's any weak points in the series, or like, why is 2 your favorite? What do you love about it?
I'd say the biggest weak points are probably Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5. I'd say those are the biggest weak points. Like, I personally really enjoy 4. I don't really like 5, but Metal Gear Solid 2 has the most to look into. So whenever you're playing the game, you're always on a sort of verge of new discovery. Like, recently they found a thing that if you take the sort of anti-anxiety drug that you I think it's called Pentazem or something like that. I always botch the name, but if you take that on the ship at the start of the game, it stops Snake from being motion sick on the boat. And it
Uh-huh.
has like thousands of little details like that, as well as just kind of unraveling the whole meta plot. Because Kojima very much writes two levels of stories, where it's the story of the game and it's the story of Kojima's diary.
Huh.
And a lot of the Metal Gear games are basically Dear Diary, today at the office. So
Interesting.
it's kind of finding those little connections that really gets me hooked onto Metal Gear Solid 2, and just kind of exploring that. And it's also the best in terms of the gameplay challenge on higher difficulties, because it's really precise in what it wants you to do, and you can just use that precision against the game, which makes it a lot of fun to work with.
Hmm.
Diazepam, there you go.
So when you say you don't like 5, because I've seen quite a bit of 5, I haven't played it, but I've seen some of it. Would you say you don't like it mechanically or story-wise or lore-wise?
Well, I can't say story-wise because the story isn't done yet. Like, it very abruptly ends. The Notorious Chapter 3 was kind of like where the game was going with everything, and that got cut during development. So what we got left with was this very very directionless story. But what I saw there, the thematics, the ideas were really cool, but the game really suffers from the open-endedness. Like the gameplay is so diluted because of the open world design to it. Like in Metal Gear Solid, you have a corridor, you have 5 guards in the corridor, you have to go from point A to point B, you have to find a way through the 5 guards. In Metal Gear Solid 5, you can go around the mountain.
I see.
That's th-
So it's just
it's-
totally different experience.
yeah, it's something that you need to kind of have like an affinity for open world with to like fully enjoy it. You can do a lot of really crazy stuff in it, but it's just not for me. I'm not a big open world fan.
No,
I
that
need
makes
the story
sense.
to kind of drive me forward, and I enjoy the hour-long codec calls that you sometimes get in the series.
That's understandable. Yeah. I feel like if I played it, I would probably just like I'd probably just want to play 2, quite honestly, just to experience it. And I'm sure, although then I'd be missing out the context of 1, wouldn't I?
A little bit. I'd say they're really really good as separate stories as well. So if you want to experience the entire series, play them in release order first, and if you want to experience the series just as is, just pick one that seems suited to your taste and just have a good time with it.
Okay.
Because mechanically over the series they really do evolve, and going from 3 to 1 is a little bit of a jarring jump for a lot of people.
You know what I did love actually? I played Revengeance kind of recently. And I know Revengeance is a total different beast than the rest of the series, but holy shit did I love Revengeance. I Is the whole plot, story, and presentation of the game similar to how Revengeance is in the rest of the series? But just with the
Uh,
gameplay being very different?
no, it's
No.
Revengeance is an entire beast on its own. It's very over the top. It's basically Revengeance is what would happen if you take there is a scene in Metal Gear Solid 4 where Raiden starts breakdancing with a bunch of Metal Gears, and it's
Ah.
basically that scene compacted into a game with a bunch of lightning added.
Okay, I
That's
see.
the best way I can describe it.
I wasn't sure if all of Metal Gear Solid was that bombastic or not, but
And it's not like you don't fight a Ray and then Rules of Nature starts playing. It's but it, you for instance, like in Metal Gear Rising, you basically suplexed a Ray, and in Metal Gear Solid 2, they one shot you.
okay, I see.
So,
There.
so that is a heavy contrast.
So the whole thing about Revengeance was like, here were these things that like were extremely intimidating and threatening, and now here's Raiden rules of naturing them.
Yeah, basically. Here's anime. Enjoy.
Okay, okay. I mean, I did enjoy. I really loved it, but that's been my only experience with the series.
It's, I recently had to do it as a punishment goal because I really have a lot of trouble like not comparing it to the Metal Gear Solid series.
Oh, do you
The
not
first-
like Revengeance?
The first time I streamed it, I smashed my controller so hard on the desk it shattered. Because I
Really?
was so furious at the whole Armstrong cutscene at the end of
Seriously?
the game. Yeah, I took it as a personal insult for so many years.
Why? Why did that upset you? I thought it was hilarious.
I had a hard time letting go of Metal Gear Solid 2. Raiden's my favorite character, and I thought they sort of closed this arc off, and then you got Rising, and it sort of does that, just a corny
Oh.
dialogue, and just hit different at the time. But this was like 2015, I think.
Man, yeah, because I loved it. I really enjoyed it. But to each his own. However, I do know there's something we both like very much, and that being Shenmue.
Yes, very much.
There's a game that whenever I bring it up, no one can help themselves but be like, "Oh, do you mean boneless Yakuza?" Because like I cannot bring up Shenmue without someone doing that.
Well, fun fact: the director of Yakuza actually worked on Shenmue.
Yeah,
He was part of the team with Yu Suzuki. I think he was part of the environmental designer. I think.
I think a
Not quite
lot
sure.
of people from Shenmue went on to make Yakuza
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, he took a lot of them with him when Yu Suzuki started focusing on different stuff for Sega.
Yeah, and I
But it's-
mean, I love Yakuza. Yakuza's freaking amazing, but it's
Yes.
definitely a different beast than Shenmue is.
Yeah, absolutely. Shenmue is much more focused on like the philosophy of martial arts and how to visually depict that in a realistic slice of life setting. And it's something that you kind of need to open yourself up to. I find with a lot of people that are so used to just kind of having like the games sort of carry them with them. Shenmue is very much about like, oh, here's a drawer. I'm gonna open that. I'm gonna touch the batteries inside the drawer and look at them extensively through 3 to 4 second animations doing this. And if you love that, then you'll love Shenmue. If you love looking at stuff, you'll love Shenmue.
The way I've always described Shenmue is that it's extremely sincere to a
Yes.
fault.
Yes. Very.
Like it's they really tried to have this like real life experience of a revenge story, and just like, so I'm gonna set out to my father was just murdered in front of my face. I'm gonna set out for revenge. Okay, how would I do that? All right, well they're going to China. Oh, I guess I gotta find money. I gotta go make some money because I want to get on a boat to go to China. I gotta do this detective work to figure out where they're going. I gotta make the money to actually travel and do this because I'm freaking 18, 19 years old and can't just like go off and do this like a video game. Now I'm down by the docks working a forklift job to make money so I could go on my revenge quest, and everyone's just like, can you fucking stop this already? This is unhealthy.
Yeah, it's pretty great, especially in the first game, how much everybody just says like, "Hey, if you need somebody to talk to, just come to me. Like, I'm open to it." And Ryu's like, "No, I'm gonna dress up forklifts because I got to go to Hong Kong to beat up the mafia."
Yeah, and everyone around him in the game is just like, "Yeah, we don't want to see you get killed. Can you stop this, please? Can you please stop? Can you please stop being a crazy person?"
It's really good. I recently did a very extensive deep dive into it, and like you don't realize how insane this is until you see the behind the scenes footage of the NPC bullet board that they made in the office. They
Oh my
have
goodness.
extensive character profiles for every single thing that moves in the game. So every single one, 251 plus NPCs are working on a daily schedule with a backstory, with characteristics to them, with defining ways to how they should talk and interact with Rio at any given time. And it's all like on these little sheets that are stapled onto a massive board. And at the end of the board, there was a dog and a cat.
It's crazy the amount of work that had to get put into this, because like you said, it's a whole ecosystem of a town with everyone living in it. And for those of you who haven't actually played Shenmue, you have to play it like, I wouldn't say in real time, like one day is probably across like an hour or something like that, or I'm not exactly sure. Where every NPC has a set schedule. They have a job they go to, what they do when they go home, depending on where in the plot you are, what day of the month it is, what day of the week it is, what's been going on, who they interact with, who they know. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And the whole thing is voiced. And this was back in like freaking the aughts. Like, it's really crazy how ambitious the damn game was. Like, absolutely insane the amount of time and money poured into it.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
It's you know what I want to know is you did a stream where you tried to write down everything that you can do in the game. Like all the cutscenes you can find.
Yeah.
Was all this information online that you had to find and piece together, or like was some of it missing that people didn't even know online or discover yet, or what was that process like?
The broad strokes were primarily just talking to the Shenmue community and using their sources to figure out, like, okay, these are the broad strokes of like the main events that I need to go to. But another part of it was that I wanted to approach it a little bit more focused on the sort of philosophy behind the whole journey, because Yu Suzuki really wanted to create this with a sort of layered experience in mind. Like Rio's way of going about is like directly tied to something that you learn about in Shenmue 2, which is the four voodoo, and like kind of putting everything together, then finding like what ties into what part of that and what that means for the character development as a whole, but also just extensively searching, just on stream, just talking to people for 5 hours at a time.
Man,
Just this one NPC, just bother him for an entire week and see what makes him tick.
see what else he does. Oh my goodness. Cause it's funny to me how much you can miss playing through the game, even when you think you're being thorough. Like, what's funny is, let's say your father was murdered by some mysterious person in front of you. Hypothetically, let's say this. When you wake up the next day, what would be the first, like Chair, what would be the first thing you would do?
Well, use the bathroom, of course.
Okay. Aside, slightly broader than that. What would you be doing? What would you be doing after your father got murdered in front of your eyes and the people who did it just took off and they're gone? What would you do?
Call the police.
Yes, exactly. There's a whole scene and everything if you call the police after doing this. I never did that.
It lets Rio hang up the phone and says that he has to find out who murdered his father.
Yeah. There's stuff there if you do it. But like, what's funny to me is that like and I'm sure a ton of other players, you're playing a video game. Like, you wouldn't do that. You would just be like, all right, I gotta go off and find him. When it's like, the first thing you would do is call the goddamn police. Or like, talk to your friends maybe about what happened.
And the fun part, if you open the notebook, the first thing you see is a list of numbers, and the first number on there is the police department, which is great.
And I never called them. And then like one cutscene I always missed was you can call your friends and they can come over, and you have a cutscene where you're talking, they're just like checking up on you to see if you're okay after this traumatic thing happened. I never did that. I never did it.
There are also multiple confession scenes within Nozomi that are very easy to miss. Like, there's an entire story arc that I sort of unraveled on that stream, where a lot of the like a lot of there is like this meticulous process where you have to sort of get like an affinity meter up with both a cat and Nozomi by calling Nozomi and feeding the cat. And like special food raises the cat's affinity to by a certain amount of points, so you have to from the very start feed him very expensive food and start to fatten up that cat so that Nozomi is really proud that you took good care of that cat. And then you get a call from her, and then you have to go to the park. And it's like you can really easily miss out on so much stuff in Shenmue. It's insane.
I've seen entire playthroughs of Shenmue where there's been so little interaction with Nozomi that when you get to when you have that confession scene, like if you still trigger that park scene or talk to her later and everything, it almost seems comical how deadpan and cardboard their relationship, quote unquote, seems to be. And you're like, they were dating? What? It's like they barely knew each other. Wait, why was she captured? Why is she riding on a motorcycle with you? Why is this supposed to be emotional? You can just miss all of that because it's like, what does the game expect you to do? Fucking call your girlfriend. Ever.
And feed a cat.
Ever. There's also the feed of the cat part. But like part of it is like you can call your girlfriend on the phone when you're home and talk to her about your day and become closer. And all those things can be completely missed if you don't like bother to call her. And it's like, you might not do that because it's a rotary phone. You got to go home and you're like, I'm moving the whole thing out. Because you're probably too busy just being like, all right, the next thing in the quest is I got to find sailors. So you just go to bed and then go back and try to find some sailors. And it's like, you just completely miss out that like you're playing out this person's life down to like the minutia, which I'm sure is not interesting to some people, but to me it's fascinating just how in depth this game goes with that.
Yeah, it's for me as well. Like I really enjoyed looking at like the minute stuff. Like I was playing the Resident Evil 8 demo earlier today, and there was a point where you walk through a corridor, and I just deadpan stopped, looked at the wall, and out loud said, "That is an amazing looking wall." And that kind of describes why I kind of love Shenmue. It's such a tangible game. Like every Shenmue, even Shenmue 3, though to a little bit of a lesser extent, has that sort of tangible nature to it where you can see a drawer and you can walk up to it, open that drawer, see what's inside the drawer. There might not be anything of interest, but you can do it.
There'll be stuff in it.
Yeah, and it's sort of like you have this house, and normally you're like, oh yeah, this is the main character's house. But no, you can just walk around. You find a Sega Saturn, and in 1987 or 86, don't worry about it. And you can actually win games for the Sega Saturn in the supermarket and take those home and play those on your Sega Saturn. And it's a very much like this endearing experience of like the game leading its own life around you, and you feel like such a part of it. And if you let that envelop you, you get such a wonderful feeling when playing Shenmue. You're like, oh, I just found out that this squatting dude in front of the Yakuza office is actually a really good dude, and he just is there, though really scary looking. He's just really there to admire his boss's shoes or something like that.
What's from replaying it and doing a deep dive in it, what would you say is like your favorite scene from it that you didn't know existed before? Or either one or two, or both?
Well, there was one moment where it was really like whoops with the game. I accidentally despawned Fang Mei. So she didn't exist in the game anymore.
Completely?
Completely. She's gone. And there was a whole thing around the I think the Manmo Temple. No, it was in Kowloon, if I recall. You can find out about the lives of nearly everyone in Kowloon.
Really?
And that blew my mind. That part of the game is so fascinating. Kowloon itself is a fascinating part in history, and just to see how well they crafted that is insane. And there are so many moments that the whole thing lasted over 100 hours for all three games, and like it's filled with many of those like little moments. But in Shenmue, it's like you've played the game for 20 times, and then suddenly someone says something different, and it's like the biggest thing ever, right?
Mhm.
Where somebody suddenly says something that puts a bit of the martial arts lesson that you just learned to context, or you find out that if you duck race, that the duck is actually really into the supermarket girl,
Yes.
and a lot of stuff like that, or that randomly a goose spawns during the duck races.
Yes, I think I've seen that before.
It's a lot of those little things that make for very big feeling discoveries in Shenmue. So
I
it's hard to
also
narrow down to like 2 moments.
I also love discovering that the supermarket girl and this other girl you meet otherwhere is actually like crazy good martial artists who you can like fight
Yeah,
against.
I think Eileen and Suzuki, I think they're called.
I think
And
Eileen's the one's name. I forget the supermarket girl's name.
it was either Suzuki or Izumi. I don't know.
Hmm.
Either way, yeah,
Either way.
Eileen is great as well. Like she has a whole character arc. You can find out that she's best friends with Fang Mei, and that they hang out during lunch in the harbor where you usually work with Delin,
Glenn,
which
yeah.
is the
Ooh-ha!
greatest. Which is the greatest NPC ever. Like we're still making jokes on the channel, going like, "We're putting
Putting
it
it
down," or
down.
unless I tell you otherwise, keep pushing forward.
I still can't handle that they put his brother in 3.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like, wait,
Amazing.
what are the odds?
And I love that he teaches you a martial arts move, and it's the brawler's uppercut, where you just do a big ol' swing uppercut. And
Yeah. What's also great is that both of them fall into water
yes,
if
yes.
you let them teach them a couple of times. It's pretty good. Like it's honestly it's that there's just so much to Shenmue that I really love, and it's hard to convey in just like a few words. Like you really need to sit down like for hours on end to kind of discuss it with someone. And it's just go play Shenmue. It's super cheap on PC, on
Mm.
PS4 and Xbox One, and Shenmue 3 is there as well. And yeah, just go check it out. Anybody in chat, just go check it out. It's beautiful. Let the experience envelop you.
It's really an endearing game. It's just you have to. I feel like you need to have the right mindset for it.
Yeah,
Like it is a
that's
revenge
true.
quest, but it's definitely like the whole point is not about revenge. It's about the journey of it. It's a love letter to martial arts and everything. And it's really good. It's really something special.
Yeah, most NPCs will also tell you that to not pursue said revenge throughout the entirety of the game. It's more about the lessons learned along the way that develops Rio as a character and makes him more whole as a person. And yeah, it's like to give you context on how insanely infatuated with this game series I am. I wrote a 47-page essay on just the notes from that stream.
Really.
Yeah, I've been really just putting all my mind into like these games and the discoveries that I've made and what I think that everything means. And it's just so cool to kind of even if the lines are imaginary, right? It's just so cool to be um so just infatuated with the concept of the game. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's I have a lot of fond memories of and this is the worst way to sell anyone on Shenmue. But I have fond memories of being a teenager, sitting in my room playing Shenmue while eating the candy hearts from Valentine's Day that were on sale for 75% off. So I bought like tons of bags of them for super cheap. And I'm just a teenager eating my chalk candy hearts while playing Shenmue, and I'm like, this is the best experience. I'm sure people are just gonna be like, wow, Vox, you have no taste. But I I really love the game. I can't help it. It like I said, it wears its heart out on its sleeve. It's a very sincere game. It's
Yeah.
a really interesting experience, and to consider how ridiculous in depth it is for the time it came out, I think is extremely impressive.
Yeah, there was also a thing as well that there was a fully functional Saturn build at some point of the game, which is even more insane. If you look at like the footage of that, they had
Crazy.
fully animated faces on a Sega Saturn. The only other game that I've ever seen do that is Panzer Dragoon Saga, and that game is like 25 hours long and spread over 4 discs.
It's insane to think Shenmue was going to come out on the Sega Saturn. Like,
Yeah.
they really poured a lot of time into it.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about Shenmue 3? The result of it and everything?
I was actually quite content. I'm gonna kind of refrain from spoilers, but I found that if the ending would have gone the way that the fans wanted, I felt that would have been undeserved.
Same.
In correspondence to the growth on the journey, but you definitely can tell a lot of the limitations. Like the initial reaction for me was just me outright just crying for 15 minutes looking over Bailu Village. Like you step out of that cave and you get that nice vista over the village and with beautiful flower beds and the river flowing at that little bridge. And I just started crying. Like I have never been this emotional over like first playing a game, and that kind of made the first playthrough sort of rose-colored glasses.
Same.
And
Absolute same experience, yes.
the second time you kind of start to notice like the limitations of how they did it with like less NPC interactions. There's less of that tangibility to the game where you can just kind of feel like you can touch everything and talk to everyone about anything. And
Yeah.
it's still a great game, and the combat system is really cool, especially once you start to max out a lot of stuff. You can just pull like really crazy stunts in the game because it plays basically like Virtua Fighter 5. And yeah, it's just a really neat game that needed a bit more time and money, I guess, to fully flourish into a modern version of Shenmue, but I'm really pleased with what we got.
I would definitely have to agree with that. I being as emotional as I was over it, definitely rose-colored glasses while I'm playing it, but I still enjoyed it. I think the only thing I didn't enjoy was repeating a plot element in 2 different areas without spoiling things. That part I didn't enjoy. There was a bit how they handled how you had to learn a new move twice.
Yeah.
And then it looked like the identical same move.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is awkward.
I have a theory that I want to discuss after, well, not after the show because then I'm going to sleep, but some other time about that same repetition, because I did notice something on the second playthrough that might put that in a more positive light.
Okay, I would definitely be interested in hearing that. But I mean, otherwise, I enjoyed it, and I think people who went nuts over the ending, I can understand being upset over it, but there's no way the series could have ended at 3. There's no possible way you could continue Shenmue, have it be the same story, have it be the same game, and not have it be 4 games.
Yeah.
There was no way to cut out 3, because
Yeah.
3 was integral to the growth of Ryo as a character. I could see them ending it. Here's how I feel. If they do get to make a 4 should end it. And I think they could end it in 4. There's just no way they could do it on 3. That just wasn't possible with where the plot was.
No, definitely not. It's definitely more about the personal growth. Like for people going into Shenmue 3, like first of all, play Shenmue 1 and 2.
Yeah, otherwise there's no point. You'll feel nothing in 3. You'll be like, why are these 2 so emotional over 3? And it's like, there's a reason.
Like to give a little bit of context without spoiling the narrative, Ryo is a really closed off individual throughout the first 2 games. So because the game is the way it is, you get this experience that alongside and that growth alongside Ryo that allows you to kind of emphasize a little bit with his point of view, as well as understand and observe the information that you get from all the characters in the games. And 3 is kind of the processing point of that. So you get to the stop in the end of 2, then you start 3, and it's much more personal. Like it's more between 2 or 3 characters growing towards each other rather than the quest for revenge. And if you look at it that way, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that on it. It's not a game for everyone, but hey, when it goes on sale, it's really cheap. It's a really interesting experience regardless to see such a high scope game made back when it was, and that's intriguing. So if you're interested in it at all, you know, wait for it to go on sale, 1 and 2. Give it a try, and if you don't like it, you might just be like, all right, that was neat. Whatever. Or you might appreciate it for what it is and the experience of it. And when you just want a long, cozy day to just relax and immerse yourself in it, it's probably more of the experience of like reading a book than it is the experience of playing a video game. I don't mean that in how it plays. I mean that in how you should feel, like rolled up in a blanket with a nice warm drink, wanting a cozy, interesting story that's very long form.
It's the best recommendation that a friend of mine gave me was start the game, make yourself a nice cup of tea, sit down, look through the entire bedroom as soon as the game starts. And just open every drawer, open every cabinet, just experience the room. If that isn't what you want from a game, then Shenmue isn't for you.
And that's fine. But
and that's completely fine.
But if you like that, you have a whole game like that, and it's honestly something pretty special, and like I said, sincere is how I would describe it, and that's something I can appreciate despite any flaws it may have.
Yeah. And also, I do want to share a little bit of a story. I'm gonna stop talking about Shenmue after this.
That's fine. It's fine. we got to wrap up for tonight, but let's end it with this story.
Yeah, it's when I was first streaming Shenmue 2, during the Lin box carrying thing, my Dreamcast caught fire.
What?
Yeah. The region decoder exploded in the Dreamcast and set the whole thing on fire. And what happened was the screen went dark. I started kind of breaking down like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And 2 hours later, the community got together to get a guy that was watching as well, that was a friend of mine. He said like, hey, I have a Dreamcast that I could sell to you if you want. And the whole community got together to get me a new Dreamcast. And the guy came over the same night to bring it over so I could finish Shenmue 2.
My goodness.
And it's still one of the most beautiful things that has ever happened on the channel. It's so, like, I will always treasure that moment. It's so good.
That's really nice. That's really, really something special. Jeez.
And now they're signed by Yu Suzuki.
Oh goodness, that's that's awesome.
I met him at Gamescom and I talked a bit about him to him about Shenmue, and
that's amazing.
Took a picture with him. He signed my copies, and
that is amazing.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Well, Gil, I want to thank you for coming on to the Vox Off Show tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure to have you. Thank you for ruining your sleep schedule to come on the show.
Yeah, it's
tell us
no
about
problem.
how cool Shenmue is.
Chair, I believe we might have one question or two from the Q&A, I believe.
Oh,
I believe we had a question submitted for the Q&A.
Yes. And the question is, all right, this is for all of us. Do you know of a place where sailors hang out?
Sailors like to hang out in bars.
It's still funny. It's so goofy. It's so goofy, but I still love it. But Gil,
shout out to Tom the hot dog guy.
Tom the hot dog guy. Hell yeah, that tornado kick, that tornado kick did work. All right, that shit was awesome. But Gil, thank you so much for being on. Do you have any last things you'd like to say to anyone? Other than to follow you over at twitch.tv/Gilluria.
Yeah, I guess if you enjoy watching a dude stare at old video games with an uncanny intent. No, but seriously, if you like games that like the potential that you will see a game that you might have never heard of, especially on like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, I stream a lot of that, and I mostly just kind of explore different types of games on there that most people don't really look at the in the first place. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, do check it out. And beyond that, thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been a great time. Thank you so much.
And yeah. And also, Chair, sorry about the long Shenmue talk.
Why are you apologizing? You are so passionate for it. I love hearing this about. Okay, let me tell you something. I have Shenmue, but it's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there. It's just sitting
go
there.
Try it out. Make yourself a hot cup of tea.
You know how scared I am to like just like what's that word? Like dedicate so many hours.
Time into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's a long game.
Shenmue, I know. And then the way you said it, you're like, you have to be the type of person that opens every single cabinet. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be tougher for me because I just get through the main objectives. Just like you guys said, I'd be so confused about the girlfriend. I'm like, oh my gosh, are these two dating? Because I just missed all the details. That's totally gonna be me. That's totally gonna be me.
MH. Well, thank you, Gil, for being on again, everyone. Twitch.tv/Gilluria, and have a good night, Gil. Get yourself some rest.
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, Chair, it looks like we've had another successful episode of the Vox Off Show.
The whole time, I just felt so happy hearing him, like, about Shenmue. I'm like, wow, this is so interesting for a game I didn't even play.
It is. Shenmue's a really interesting game. It really, really is.
I could already feel the emotions, and I absolutely don't have any context about it.
I guess you're gonna have to play that now. Speaking of things you're going to do you have anything going on this week you would like to let anyone know about?
Oh, hi. Yeah, guys, I'm just obsessed with Saga, so that's probably all I'm gonna do.
We got him! We got him! We did it! We got him! Make sure you follow Chair over at twitch.tv/ChairGTables. And I believe there was a subscription renewal during the stream tonight. So big thank you to Malezra for subscribing for 16 months now with the message, break a leg, Vox. Break a leg. My VTuber can't break her legs. They are indestructible. That's right. Did you know that you Thank you so much, Melissa. It is greatly appreciated. And thank you everyone who came out for the Vox Off Show tonight. I hope you all had a wonderful time. Did you have a good time, Chad?
Yes, dude. I really like Shenmue, the way it sounds like from what he described there.
Well, listen up, everyone. Here's what's happening. Later tonight, after the show, I'm going to come back here after a short, quick break with some more Saga Frontier. But next week on the Vox Off Show, Emu Lapis is joining us. My friend Emu, fellow VTuber, will be here Will she be able to contain her horny levels for the stream so we can have a wholesome show? What do you think, Chair?
Oh. They will have to challenge me on that horny.
I didn't know this about you, Chair. Chair, you're so wholesome. You're so wholesome here. This is what you're trying to tell us? This is what you're trying to tell us? That's it. I'm getting out of here. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you later tonight for more Saga Frontier, and we'll see you next week for the Vox Off Show. Remember, youtube.com/Voxandra for episodes of the Vox Off Show. They go up the night that they happen, in case you missed anything. Twitch.tv/Gilluria, Twitch.tv/ChairGTables. Check them all out. And what else am I missing? Patreon.com/Voxandra. If you want to support the channel, as well as if you want to be an executive gamer, help determine what is on the wheel. Have a good night, everyone. Stream's gonna go down, and then it'll come back up with some Saga. Take care, everyone. Say bye, Chair.
See ya! Big thanks for choosing Gundam. It was fun.
This video was brought to you by the power and the support of the mighty executive gamers. They are known as Adam Admar, as well as Alice, and La Amu. And the licensed gamers are known as Tunnel Rhino Song Hong and Madam Melody. I forgot to check if other creators would use my name anywhere. Fortunately, I dropped those tears for you. Lisa. Let it also be known that these gamers are certified gamers. Do you also wish to become a gamer who is certified? Head on over to patreon.com/Voxandra to pledge your support today, and you can become a gamer who is certified.